Welcome back to the Cruise Dynasty podcast. Back at it again, doing what the hell we do. Craftman, we at headquarters for another one. And what's going on, man?
Same old thing. We just sitting over here in the garage. Got the mattress to the left. Got Peloton and everything. One day we're going to have a whole studio where we can just...
Oh, yeah.
It's just going to be a podcast room where we can all just get together. And
yes. That sounds like turn that TV into something where we could look at some stuff. Be official.
Watch some games while we podcast.
So that's what me and Craftman up to. Drank a couple beers, and here we are. And tonight we're doing a rookie mock draft.
They all suck.
They all suck. Nah, but this class is deep at wide receiver. This class is pretty deep, I will say. Me and Craftman, we've already thrown out some rookie profiles, and we got more to come. But we figured, hey, we just chilling. We're going to throw out a rookie mock draft from what we know. This mock draft might be completely bullshit after the NFL draft. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. It'll definitely be different after the NFL draft. We did this last year.
Yep.
And this mock draft's pretty much just going to be based on, like, talent alone from what we've seen. This is the players that we like. This is what we watched on tape. So this is all...
Yep.
This is all speculation at this point. So
reading and listening to other podcasts, and this is just what we think.
Roman Wilson, the 101.
So basically, me and Craftman, we're going to go one by one. We're going to go 3 rounds. And I'll just go ahead and tell you this. Once we get later, I'm definitely just going to be throwing crap out there. I haven't, we haven't watched everybody and stuff, but yeah, so basically, Craftman, we're just going to go. We're going to alternate 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we're not going to be drafting like we're building a team. We're just going to draft where we think these players would be going.
Superflex, tight end premium.
Yep, Superflex.
What we always do.
Yep, tight end premium, PPR, yada, yada, all that good shit. Craftman, you want I guess I'll do the 1-1.
Yep, hey, go ahead and blow everybody's mind with who you're going to take at the 101.
All right. Let's see at the 101. It's so funny because I left that thing.
You're not gonna leave everybody hanging. Just go ahead and say his name. Nah. You don't have to look at no list. Just say his name.
I was really just looking at the start of this mock draft thing. I was just like, the 101 will be Caleb Williams for me.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I think Caleb Williams, if I had the 101, I'd draft Caleb Williams. That's why you did all your tanking. I ain't tanking for a wide receiver. This is the guy I was really shooting for if I'm doing all that tanking. So I got the 101, Caleb Williams. All this little antics and stuff, I know we talk about it within and stuff. Like, obviously, I don't like it. I think it's ridiculous. The pink fingernails. You seen any of that crap? I
seen where he, I don't have Twitter, but I did see where he put fuck Utah on his cleats and lost every single game he played against them.
Well, I mean, that dude just I don't know, man. I don't even know what to say. But with that said, wearing these little tight end premium quarterback, super flex, so quarterback is king. So I would take Caleb Williams at the 101. I would. You disagree with that?
Yeah, 100%.
Go ahead. What would you do? You would do?
I was sitting there thinking, like, just go ahead and make the pick.
Yeah.
It was Marvin Harrison. I thought it was a given.
Well, shoot. Go ahead and go ahead. Marvin Harrison at the 1-2.
Yeah.
We know that's what you would take.
Obviously.
You would take him at the 1-1. Go ahead, Crab Man. Say what you got to say.
What do you mean what I got to say? Marvin Harrison is the 101. That's all it is. It's not Caleb Williams. It's Marvin Harrison. You made a mistake. You done fucked up already. So...
Caleb Williams or Marvin Harrison with the Patriots?
It's not going to be the Patriots.
All right, with the Cardinals.
We just said we're taking talent alone. And Marvin Harrison is...
I think if we're taking talent alone, quarterback, we'll take Caleb Williams.
I will have to say something about Caleb Williams. Don't matter what you think about him personally.
Right.
How do you look at the history of Bears quarterbacks? Does that even, like...
Look, man, I'm just thinking.
We live in the present. It's a different coaching. It's different coaches, different system. You got Keenan there. I don't remember to back up your pick, I don't really remember a quarterback going into a better situation with receivers that they got. They could literally start the year with DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and Rome Odunze.
Yeah.
And DeAndre Swift as a running back.
Well, look.
But no offensive line to do anything with. So
Yeah. Well, it's true. This is what I was saying. You just got to hope that Caleb Williams is that guy. Because you know me, I'm always talking about organizations being buttoned up. I'm always saying it. That's why I said, I just recently said, I've been down on Justin Fields a lot. I actually like that he's with the Steelers now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would rather be in Pittsburgh.
No,
At least they're buttoned up. I'm just gonna be real.
You got him in a dynasty league. You wish he was.
I wish I didn't
wish
have
he was
him.
starting with the Bears.
I traded his ass for. I wanted to trade his ass for 2 years. Now I'm gonna be real. Russell Wilson's gonna be gone. He can definitely be the starting quarterback in Pittsburgh for years to come. You don't think so? Think it's all over with? I think at a stable franchise,
all they're doing is just riding out his rookie contract to see if he's it.
Well, here's the thing.
And is he it? That's the question.
I guess we'll find out. But the Bears, listen, man, you know me. I've been dissing on the Bears for years, but this is like the best opportunity they're going to have right here with the trades and the moves they made. So if it's ever going to happen for the Bears, it's got to happen now. We all know Caleb Williams. That's where he's going.
You take Marvin Harrison at the 1-on-1. Okay.
Marvin Harrison, I mean, I do think there's an argument. Because listen, man, Craftman, I said this to you on the phone. It makes more sense to me. And this is the truth to me. It makes more sense to me. It was foregone conclusion. Bijan Robinson was the 101 last year, right?
He should have been.
Everybody was like 101, 101. To me, it makes more sense for Marvin Harrison to be more of a 101 than Bijan. You know what I'm saying? At least you're getting longevity. You're getting way more longevity than a running back.
No, I disagree because there are receivers. There's a lot more receivers that you can plug into that spot than there are young, really talented running backs that are at the age Bijan was at the time. Like, you're looking at, before the draft last year, Jahmyr Gibbs was in the same draft.
Yeah.
When Bijan came out, it was like, is it Jonathan Taylor? Is it Saquon? All the old guys that have been performing for years and years and years are starting to age out now.
Right.
So Bijan was like that fresh new, hot thing that came into the league. Right. Other than Breece Hall, really. So it was like him and Breece Hall, and that was it. And then nobody really knew what Jahmyr Gibbs was going to do at this point last year, where we're drafting now, before he got drafted to the Lions, DeAndre Swift got traded, all that stuff. So where we're at right now, yeah, Bijan definitely should have been the 101. And if Marvin Harrison was in the draft last year, Bijan still should have been 101, in my opinion. Because there are receivers that you can replace, but running backs are... To find a young, talented running back that could finish as an RB1 on the season, there ain't many of them at all.
So I say we somewhat just disagree on that one. Then.
We disagree. All the way.
I go Marvin Harrison.
You don't have to say somewhat. We just disagree.
Somewhat.
Like,
I would definitely take Marvin Harrison with the Cardinals over Bijan with the Falcons. Easy.
I would trade if I was sitting there debating on taking Marvin Harrison at the 101, I would just trade it for Bijan Robinson right now. Because running backs are so hard to come from in a dynasty league. So, and there's only like 4 that you want.
You can just patch it up, man. Go get you a Derrick Henry. Go get you a James Conner.
Yeah.
Might work out. I'm just saying.
I disagree. I think getting an RB8 season out of a running back compared to a wide receiver 8 season out of a receiver, I would rather take the running back in Dynasty because everybody's struggling for running back help in Dynasty leagues.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody. There's not one team. You can look around all your leagues and you don't look at one team and be like, damn, they stacked the running back.
I don't know, man. I definitely play.
Except for Chris.
I was about to say, I play in a league with Chris Shiver. I looked at his team. I was like, damm.
He done won the championship too, though, didn't he?
He has.
To the championship.
I agree with that. It definitely pays off to zig and while other people are zagging. I'm just being real. And it definitely plays because while everybody's not caring about running backs, if you go in there and stack up, you can definitely capitalize on that. Chris has been doing that shit. Hell. Nah, I wouldn't do it. I'm just saying. Nah, I'm just kidding. I would if I had CMC, if I could get CMC and Barkley and all them boys.
You got to think, though, at some point, everybody in your league is thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
We got to go wide receiver heavy. I'm even thinking that in redraft after last year. I'm like,
Yep,
I've been high on running backs
it all the way.
I had one league where I drafted Saquon and Josh Jacobs in the first 2 rounds in redraft.
Yeah.
Worst league I had. And I've always been running back heavy, so I'm thinking, I should go wide receiver heavy. Everybody's thinking that.
Yeah.
But if everybody's thinking it, there's going to be value at the running back position. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. All right, well, shoot, I'm sitting here at the 103, and I'm going to go. And listen, I'm sitting here with the 103 and the 104.
Jonathan Brooks.
In my main, in no, not my
I'm
league.
just kidding.
Doo-doo. And doo-doo.
Yeah.
So when I draft.
Oh, you're about to give your secrets away.
I'm giving them all, but there ain't nothing they can do about it because this is where it's happening. Because there ain't nothing they can do. I already know Caleb Williams Marv is going 1 and 2, so I'm taking Malik Neighbors at 3. I think Malik Neighbors. Listen, I think Marvin Harrison, talent-wise, is just better than Malik Neighbors. But I do think Malik Neighbors has a chance to go to a better landing spot. And I think Malik Neighbors is good. And I think
he's great.
Yeah. I mean, everybody wants Malik Neighbors. So let's see what the landing spot is. I mean, heck, I've seen some crazy mock draft. I mean, I ain't even going to lie, crap, man. I've seen so many people rank Malik Neighbors over Marvin Harrison. So many. Not me. I wouldn't do it. But you said landing spot. We already talked about it. Landing spot, you might would. So
yeah, the landing spot is like exponentially better. That's a hard word to say when you've been drinking.
Right.
Yeah.
So 103 Malik Neighbors for me. Craftman, you want to take over to 104?
Yeah, 104. I'm gonna go here. Superflex draft. I do think there's a drop off between them 2 receivers in the next one, so I'm going to have to go with Jaden Daniels right here. At 104, you got to take your chance with these rushing quarterbacks who can put up 400, 500, whatever, 400 to 700 rushing yards in a season. It's just so many fantasy points, it doesn't even matter if they're that great at completion percentage or, you know, when we went over to the last episode, Lamar and Jalen Hurts passed for like 3,500 yards, 3,800 yards, and they were QB 2 and 4 in Dynasty Startup. So, I mean, landing spot obviously matters, but yeah. I'm going to take Jaden Daniels just based on the rushing ability that he has. I'm a little scared of the college production before he came to LSU when he was throwing to Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas because he was not good. Right. Before that. So, but other than that, you just got to take your shot right there. He's kind of like the Anthony Richardson of last year.
That's literally what I was going to say, and I agree with you. You're taking him at the 104, and I'm right there step by step because I was saying when we were doing these rookies last year, I was going to learn. We were going to sit back, and you know, one mistake that I made was Anthony Richardson. I was just like,
I didn't like him. I took him at the 102 in mine.
Yeah.
Even though as much shit as we talked, there's still a ceiling. And sometimes you gotta draft for just ceiling. And in my Dynasty League last year with Anthony Richardson, I had 2 decently solid quarterbacks, but I was like,
right.
You know, this is what's going to get value. And value matters a lot because I ended up just trading Anthony Richardson. What was the trade? Anthony Richardson and a 25 first for Jalen Hurts and DeAndre Swift. So Jalen Hurts Richardson played 3 games last year and held his value all the way through the offseason that I can get a guy like Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
So this is what you're looking at with, you know, young rookie quarterbacks that can run the ball. They just hold their value something crazy, even if they get hurt, like Anthony Richardson did.
Yeah. That was the one thing I was going to say. You just can't ignore the rushing upside. And it looks like to me, I think he could possibly be going to Washington. And I feel like that's not like a terrible situation weapon-wise.
Not bad. Yeah. We got to stop putting Jahan Dotson as like a solid wide receiver too, though.
I don't know. If he comes in there with Jaden Daniels, let's just see how it goes.
Would you rather have Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson or DeAndre Hopkins and Calvin Ridley?
Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson. I wouldn't even touch D. Hop and Really?
I'm not talking about in Dynasty. I'm just talking about for a quarterback to throw to.
Oh, well, I'd rather have D-Hop and I don't know, actually. I don't know. That one's pretty tough for me.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's pretty much where we stand. I think it could look pretty good. I'm pretty much going to be walking away in a Superflex draft with these guys, Malik Neighbors, Jaden Daniels, and that's just, I don't know. Yeah, I'm looking at our little mock draft right now and trying to. But anyways, Craftman, you had the 10. No, it's me. I'm at the 105.
Yeah, the 105.
All right, so at the 105, this is where I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take Drake May.
Ooh.
Well, heck,
My favorite quarterback in the class.
I like Drake May. Is this really your favorite quarterback?
My favorite NFL quarterback in the class.
I agree. I think he'll definitely have success at the NFL level. I seen him play in college because I watch a lot of ACC football. I think this year he just didn't really have too many players.
He had Tez Walker.
Tez Walker, but he missed a few games because the NCAA is just a bullshit ass thing.
We ain't done our rookie receivers, and I do not like Tez Walker.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not high on Tez Walker. There's a lot of people that are, though. That's what's crazy about it. There's some people that are high on him.
He's a little controversial now. We ain't got into our rookie receivers in the deep dive yet, but so you took Drake May at the 105?
Yep, Drake May at the 105, and look, our little mock draft is gonna be a little messed up, but we'll just make it work. 105 is who I got with with Drake May, and I'm not really even hesitating. I think before really Drake May was. I just think you just can't ignore the rushing upside with fantasy football with Jaden Daniels, and real football. I'd rather have Drake May all the way. You're sitting here saying this is your favorite quarterback, so I know you agree somewhat. So easy for me.
He has a little bit of rushing upside too. I don't want to make it sound like he is just a pocket passer. Like he can rush for 300 yards in a given year and have some rushing touchdowns. So I like that pick right there. Drake May, 105. So we at the 106 right now.
Yep.
And it's a little tough right here at 106, but I think I'm going to go with Rome Odunze at the 106. I will take the third best receiver in this class, and hopefully he goes to a good landing spot. But I liked everything I've seen about Rome Odunze. We talked about him in the rookie episode. Everybody was, well, not everybody, but I came in to his tape thinking that he was just a one-trick pony, deep threat kind of guy, but he can do pretty much everything on the field that you want him to do. And I'm actually a lot higher on Rome Odunze than I was coming in before I watched the tape. So I think this guy could be an elite wide receiver for any team. Yeah. The problem is we don't know where he's going to go. I know I've seen him a lot getting mocked to the Bears. And I personally don't like it because he's going to be the third receiver on the team. And but for the future, it looks bright, even if he goes to the Bears or something like that. But he's not in his first year. If that were to happen, he's not jumping ahead of Keenan Allen and DJ Moore in his first year. So It just depends on where he lands. So I'm gonna take this pick based on talent alone because we don't have the answers right now. We don't know what's going to happen in this draft.
Look, I'm right there with you. If I had the 106, basically the question is, do you take Rome Odunze or Brock Bowers? I'm taking Rome Odunze to me.
That's team-based.
Team-based, also position value race or based. Because I'm starting to kind of get away from I'm getting to that point where tight ends are burning me, and I do not even remotely care.
Last year, they were the best value picks in the draft.
Right. Agreed. That's the truth. That is the truth.
You get Laporte in the second. You got Kincaid in the second.
Yeah.
They were the best value picks in the draft, and I think Brock Bowers could be that, but he probably will land somewhere pretty good, but you just never know.
I think I'm going to take him at the 107, but
I would
know
too.
You got to be patient too, because these quarterbacks take a little bit to develop. Other than Laporta, these rookies came in and did some work, but like McBride, he's taking a little time. But I'd take McBride. if Brock Bowers falls to me, because you know I got the 107 pick.
You all in.
I'm shipping him. I'm shipping him out.
You gonna draft it and then ship him out, or you gonna ship it during the draft?
I'm gonna send it to every tight end on the board. I'm gonna start with Sam Laporta, and then work my way down to McBride, and then after that.
Well, that's two. Laporta, McBride. That's it.
Then I'll go to
Kincaid.
Then I'll go.
You'd rather have Kincaid than Bowers?
Give me Kincaid plus.
Plus what? A second?
First.
A second.
I feel like a lot of people think Brock Bowers
Kincaid in the 204.
If you ask somebody right now who the blue chip prospects of this draft are, they're going to say Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison, Brock Bowers.
Yeah, but we're all doing our rookie drafts after the NFL draft. If Bowers goes to, say, I've seen him mock to the Jets, like to the Bengals.
Give me Evan Ingram in a first.
Give me Bowers.
I like Bowers, but first of all, straight up, we're taking Laporta and McBride, right? Or is that tough for you?
It is kind of tough.
Dang, listen, I'm sitting here recording with the Crab Man. Dude's wearing a Georgia shirt, got a Georgia. It just looks like a Georgia. I'm sure there's some look, Georgia Bulldogs cornhole behind me. You taking McBride over
You mean Bowers?
Bowers? Because I hope he falls to me at the 107 and Mr. McBride and doo-doo. I'm going to go shoot. I'm going to fly him over there.
It would depend on where he goes. I got McBride.
That's what I'm saying. If Brock Bowers drops to me at the 107, I'm saying, I know David ain't coming off Laporta. I'm going to go find McBride.
If he went to the Chargers, give me Bowers.
Okay.
Send it to me.
I'll send it, man. Because who's at the 106 crack room? I know
who's the receivers for Chargers. Nobody.
But let's just be honest.
Don't even say QJ.
Buy low on QJ, baby. Let's go. Buy low on QJ. But yeah, shoot. I know what I'm saying.
I don't know if I do it though. I like McBride a lot.
Listen, the truth is I'm down here with Georgia fans. So I'm gonna at least do my due diligence. There ain't no doubt about it. You know what I'm saying?
If you send it to me during the draft, it's gonna be hard to think.
Crab got a few beers in him. Might just hit accept.
And you know I will too. During the rookie draft, there ain't no way I'm sober.
Well, Craft Man, this is really the draft pick that I want to see right here. This is the one that I'm most curious about. 108. Maybe I'll throw a couple scenarios. Let's just say J.J. McCarthy isn't. Let's just say he's drafted in the second round and he Will Levis this thing.
No, well, let's say that's what's going to make it tough.
I want both scenarios.
He goes to the Vikings at 11.
You taking him at the 108?
No.
I don't really like him. His ass. He ain't shit. I'm just playing. I ain't going to say that. I think he's solid, but I don't know, man.
I ain't taking a fucking Vikings quarterback at the 108.
I'm just not.
Based on talent alone, I'm taking Troy Franklin at the 108. That's based on my rankings. That's the way I like them.
This is the honest truth, Craft Man. I said this to you before.
All right, I will say this. I know everybody will disagree. This draft is different with running backs. There's not many landing spots for running backs. There's not many high-end running backs. But I promise you, when it comes draft time and the NFL draft is over, it doesn't matter if Jonathan Brooks is drafted in the third round. It doesn't matter if Blake Corum is drafted in the third round. If they go to one of them premier landing spots like the Cowboys or the Chargers, you got to think about drafting one of them at this point. Because like I said, dynasty teams are desperate for running backs. So if it was like premier, perfect landing spot, no way they got any competition behind them, I would debate it. But as of right now, there's no way I could do that. But I think that after the NFL draft, there could be a running back like Trey Benson or Brooks, Jalen Wright, something like that, Blake Corum. They could creep up to this spot. But as of right now, when we're drafting with no further information, I'm going to take Troy Franklin right here at 108.
Look, man, I don't really like McCarthy, but I think if he went to the Vikings, I would take him at the 108. So I guess I'll take him at the 109. But I just think if you can get a quarterback in the top 12 like that, which I don't even know if that's true. You know me, Crab Man. I'm just going to be real. I don't even know if that's true.
I think I'm with you. I think it might just be a smoke.
Him going
they're
to
just blowing
2,
smoke, man.
Man, him going 2 to Washington is just laughable. Let's just be honest. That's
Yeah,
laughable.
it's
It's like when they were saying Will Levis was going to go 4 to the Raiders. Like,
You remember
stop.
Malik Willis?
He was going to go 2 to the whoever.
Went in the third round.
I
do think McCarthy gets drafted in the first.
Yeah.
Either to Broncos, Raiders, or Vikings.
Look, Crap Man, I've already said it, man. I would take Michael Penix over J.J. McCarthy. That's a fact. I think he's better than McCarthy, straight up. Now, I don't really like... I like those 3, and then I like Penix as a long shot.
Michael
McCarthy,
Penix
Nix.
reminds me so much of Hendon Hooker from last year. Like an old senior who had a great season, but is the backup.
To me, it's just his accuracy, man. It's just ridiculous.
I'll tell you where Michael Penix is going. We'll get on the podcast.
Where's he going?
He's going to the Rams.
Hey, I'm all for it.
He's going to back up Matthew Stafford.
I'm all for it. All right, so we're already through 109, and I know our little mock draft's fucked up over here, Craft Man, so me and you trying to work it out, but I got...
We know what we're doing.
Yeah, you got Troy Franklin at the 108, and I've got J.J. McCarthy at the 109, so this kind of makes it a little interesting, too, because these receivers right here, I ain't seen no consensus.
Nothing.
I ain't seen... It's so funny how much... things are up in the air this year. I mean, like, I've seen people high on Xavier Worthy. I've seen people high on A.D. Mitchell. I've seen a lot of people start to cool off on Troy Franklin.
Because of the combine where he ran a little crooked ass, little whatever.
It is what it is. Me and Craftman.
You don't run routes like that, so. Just saying. You don't run routes horizontally. You run routes vertically most of the time. So
I mean, fuck it. So I think you'll be getting Troy Franklin at a pretty good value. Pretty much what I was saying about Keon Coleman. I don't like Keon Coleman the most, but the value of these guys we're going to be getting this year are ridiculous.
We got to stop here with receivers, too. So it's my pick here at the 109.
Yep,
right.
109.
I got to ask you a question about rookie receivers. What do you prefer more when you're watching the tape? Do you prefer college production? Because if you're looking at like a Troy Franklin, which I just took, really good college production.
Right.
Or do you prefer like an A.D. Mitchell, who performed really well at the combine, has the body type, everything else, and you can see perform at the next level. But when you go back to the previous year, and I've been thinking about this a little bit recently, was going back to the previous, 2023 draft, Puka had a great college production. Tank Dell, great college production. Got pushed back because of the athletic
profiles. Yeah, I mean, heck.
I'm just asking where you side with. Is it athletic profile? Is it?
It's more production to me. I said it last year, and I say eye test production.
Because Xavier Worthy got the most production out of these guys.
Agreed, and I think some people.
But I'm not taking him here. It's A.D. Mitchell. After all that is said,
look,
I'm gonna go A.D. Mitchell right here.
This is my thing with A.D. Mitchell. I feel like I could get on board with it, but I just gotta know.
And I might make a mistake because last year, if you go back to it, it's all the players that had college production, even though it wasn't from a big college. Like Tank Dell, where was he? Houston.
Yeah,
I think something like that. Puka was at BYU. It wasn't like the biggest schools playing against the biggest competition, but they just showed out and performed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tough to draft the players who didn't have like incredible college production and played in a tougher conference than drafting the players who played at smaller schools that just put up numbers.
A.D. Mitchell, man.
But Puka landed in a perfect situation.
I just think A.D. Mitchell takes a lot of plays off. I'm just being real. That Joker, man.
Yeah.
There's no way if N watched him, he would like A.D. Mitchell, I feel like.
If N what?
I just don't. That's the thing, and I usually don't care, but that man, there's a lot of plays the dude just don't really do shit. But maybe you change in the NFL. I don't know.
I just can't.
I don't know, man.
I can't move Xavier Worthy up for my rankings just because he ran a fast 40. If you go look back at the receivers who ran an incredible 40, They didn't do shit. And that has nothing to do with my opinion on Xavier Worthy, because I really thought he was a good receiver. We talked about him, and I thought he ran most of the routes very well and produced a lot of numbers, even when he was like 18 years old.
Yeah.
He was a freshman going off. And Xavier Worthy might be the Tank Dell.
He definitely doesn't feel like a John Ross or nothing like that.
No, because he can get over the middle of the field. But, I mean, I don't like Keon Coleman.
No.
So, I'm going to go A.D. Mitchell here at 109 just because I think that he has the body type. He's got the athletic ability. If he goes to a good landing spot, he's my favorite receiver after Troy Franklin. So, that's where I'm going to go.
All right, well, I'll roll with, because what am I at, the 111? Is that right?
I think the 110.
110? That's right. No, that's me, because I did Caleb Williams. So I'm at the 111. Basically, we did, you went Troy Franklin at the 8, I went McCarthy at the 9.
That's right, yeah.
And then what, you went A.D. Mitchell at the 10?
Yep.
And I'll go Xavier Worthy at the 11. And, I don't know. I mean, I think it's tough for me with A.D. Mitchell and Xavier Worthy because I would really like to take a shot on A.D. Mitchell. But, and Xavier Worthy's 40. It don't really, if you like him, you like him.
Yeah.
And he was
that
good.
Combine shit, it don't affect me none.
It really don't.
Unless you go out there and run like a 4.7 as a receiver or something crazy. Like if A.D. Mitchell ran a 4.38, which he did, or a 4.48,
yeah,
it wouldn't have affected me any.
So really, at the 111, I would probably take Xavier Worthy, and I would probably consider these running backs, depending on.
That's what I'm saying. Like
up in that area right there, I know
they're gonna creep up after the draft,
and deservingly so. I mean, the only thing I can think of is cause we're at this little mock draft, and then Michael Penix is sitting right here. If he gets first round draft capital, he'll be up in there too. It makes this draft even deeper. I don't think he will, but
yeah.
It'll be crazy because then you got fools like me talking about I'd rather take him McCarthy, and McCarthy even in this little mock is at the 108 and we got him at the 109.
Yeah,
the one me and you are doing. But yeah, I would go Xavier Worthy right there. So at the one, honestly, Kraft man, if I'm sitting here looking at these rankings right now,
McCarthy just somehow reminds me of like a Josh Rosen. Like he could just be. I really think that he is underrated for what he did at Michigan because they didn't throw the ball a whole lot.
Yeah.
I just don't see a whole lot of special. And that's pretty much all it is. It's like he's just, what's like basic or something?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's just, I don't see anything special about him.
And what we're looking for is fantasy production. So it's like he could be a good NFL quarterback, but I don't know. I mean, he is like faster than what you think he is and stuff like that. Like I give him his
he's
credit.
faster than what you think he is in college, but that speed is not going to translate. Bryce Young was fast.
Yeah.
How many rushing yards did he have last year?
Probably not a lot.
Exactly. You got to be
buy low on Bryce Young.
You got to be an extreme athlete to be a quarterback who rushes the ball and doesn't get demolished.
Crap, I really say you do this pick right here in the 12th, and then let's just not even do a second round. Let's just talk about some of these guys because really it comes down to we need to know more. Because these running backs, I'm sitting here looking at a group of these running backs right here. Yeah. And I feel like these running backs can go from late first to back of the second.
In a rookie draft?
In a rookie draft is what I'm thinking because.
We'll just talk. Yeah, I agree with you.
Bring up some of these players that you think you might like, but give me a 112, and we'll recap it.
All right, at the 112, so most receivers are gone that I like. A.D. Mitchell, Xavier Worthy. I will take a chance, even though I didn't like his tape extremely well. I thought he was more of a deep threat kind of target, but I will take Brian Thomas at 112.
Mm-hmm. People are probably looking at us crazy for him dropping to the 112, I feel like.
I mean, I talked a lot of I re-listened to our episode from last time, and I was really hating on him a lot. But, from a fantasy perspective, it's different from what I've seen, on tape. Because I can see the ceiling. And at the 112, what are you drafting for? You're drafting for...
You're definitely going for ceiling, I feel like.
You're going for ceiling, so I'll take Brian Thomas there at the 112.
I agree. I feel like that first round is pretty solid right there because I've agreed there's like a pretty much a top 7 that goes. I mean, the only thing is,
and the draft capital seems like he will be drafted in the first or second round. So I'll take the chances on that.
Basically, with all right, let me recap it. We went Caleb Williams at the 101, Marvin Harrison at the 102, Malik Neighbors at the 103, Jaden Daniels at the 104. No, you know what? Is that right? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Roma Dunes. No, we went Drake May at the 105, Roma Dunze at the 106, Brock Bowers at the 107, Troy Franklin at the 108, JJ McCarthy at the 109, A.D. Mitchell at the 110, Xavier Worthy 111, and then Brian Thomas 112. I think that one might be a little debatable for me, Xavier Worthy and Brian Thomas maybe.
I agree. I would still take Xavier Worthy, though. You made the pick, but I would have made the same pick.
Yeah, so, and then, we could sit here and say this a million times, but we need to see what kind of
we got to see where they go.
Where these running backs are, because I see some good names right here, like Blake Corum, Trey Benson.
But they're all the same.
The only thing that could change this first round right here is if Michael Penix gets first round draft capital, or Keon Coleman gets some draft capital that you can't deny. That's about and a running back.
A lot of the receivers. And in the second round in the NFL draft, I think there's going to be a lot of receivers drafted, and you're going to have to pick and choose what landing spots that you want. I mean, Ladd McConkey's probably going to go in a second. Mm-hmm. Xavier Leggett could go in the second or third. Yep. Keon Coleman, he can go in the first.
Yeah.
We have no idea. He can go in the first. He can go in the fourth. I mean, Keon Coleman's one of them guys I think could totally drop, but he could rise way up until the late first. I mean, he's just one of them guys. I don't think he'll go in the fourth. That was a little. He'll probably go in the first or second, late second.
It looks like in Superflex startup ADP, it probably goes running back wise goes Jonathan Brooks, Blake Corum, Trey
with the ACL injury.
With an ACL injury, and
if Jonathan Brooks didn't have the ACL problem,
probably be number 1. I think
Jalen Wright's going first.
You think so, Jalen Wright? That's the thing. There's no consensus on the running backs. There's none.
Yeah,
none, which is wild. But hey, I like it because you're really going to be taking your shots on these guys at this point. So, Craftman, any other players you just want to toss out there? I just want to go ahead for the record. I don't really buy into people like Bo Nix.
What about Jatavion Sanders, tight end, Texas?
You know me, Craftman.
Are you done with the tight end? Are you done with the tight ends after Bowers? Like, where would you draft?
He's definitely number 2.
But where would you draft a tight end in the rookie draft after Bowers?
3rd and 4th round is all day for me.
So you're just taking shots on receivers.
Where was Laporta going at?
Like mid-second.
I was wondering if he was even going that high, but I guess he was.
Yeah, he was.
So, I don't know. I just like to kind of pick. Getting tight ends and stuff in 3rd and 4th rounds, that's literally as cheap as it can get.
Yeah, and it's not a bad deal to do that.
So, I'm all in from that perspective. But
running backs
they're just a bunch of okay running backs. That's all it is.
It's just going to depend on the draft. I mean, we want to get more information on the episode, but really, you can't just sit here and bullshit your way through it. No. You know what I mean? Like, it's really going to depend on where they go. It doesn't matter. Because all these running backs are, what did you say? Like, they're average. They're like the same
all right.
kind of, yeah.
But if one gets a better, some draft capital and gets a better landing spot, I mean, none of these guys are just way better than the other, or I'll be like, nah, man, I got to take Blake Corum with yada yada over Jonathan Brooks. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I would say to listeners out here that if me and Matt missed on some stuff last year, we definitely did miss on some stuff.
Yeah, we did, no doubt.
No doubt. But our running back takes were pretty top notch, I feel like. We really like Chase Brown. Yep. We really like Tajay Spears.
Yeah.
There was a lot of guys that went that before the draft that we liked that went a little higher than we thought they would. So the running back takes, hopefully, we're going to be coming back with the running back rookie episode soon, and
For the record, allegedly, this running back class is weak. This is wide receiver heavy 2024. 2025 is supposed to be heavy running back. as of today.
But
doesn't mean nothing, but
I don't think you should look at it like that, though. I think that you should look at the running backs in this rookie class as a value from because just because they didn't get drafted in the first or second round, you got to look at what all 32 teams are doing in the NFL and what was the first running back drafted? What was the second running back drafted? You don't need to look at it as where they were drafted at as much as what round they're drafted at, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, who went first, who went second, who went third, where did the landing spots go? Because they're not going to be as valuable as, like, Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs because they were drafted so high. But I'm saying, like, you can get a very valuable running back in the third round of the NFL draft.
Yeah.
You just don't need to look at it that way because they are going to get pushed back this year. But there are some talented running backs.
For sure. So, with that said, that pretty much wraps it up. We recorded 2 pretty good-ass episodes of Nightcraft, man. You know what I mean?
In person.
In person. At headquarters. So, Craftman, anything you want to say to these folks out here?
I'm good, man. I just like doing this rookie draft with you. There's a lot of receivers we didn't hit on going in that second round, but, we'll try to do as much as we can doing the rookie receivers and That's really the bulk of this draft. Receivers. I mean, what did we do? Like, we had a list of
we've knocked out
25 receivers or something crap. Yeah, like 20 receivers.
We got about 12 left, or maybe more. But
yeah, we got a lot of receivers
14
left.
or something crazy. But yeah, once we get through these wide receiver heavy. So, but shoot,
I mean, well, I do gotta ask you before you sign off though.
Go ahead.
With these rookie receiver rankings, do you think when we did the mock draft, do you think we're about neck and neck?
I think me and you are higher on Troy Franklin than most. And I think maybe me and you might be a little lower on, I don't know. It's funny. I feel like me and you have been agreeing a lot more.
What about Keon Coleman?
I feel like me and you are spot on Keon Coleman. I feel like nobody likes his ass. That's why I don't give up on him.
Where would you draft him at? I'm thinking between the 201 and the 205.
Agreed, 100%.
I don't think he should fall to the. I think there's a lot of upside there, but I don't like him technically. Like I don't think he's no. I think his athletic ability is there, but I don't think he's.
That's what we pretty much been saying the whole time. Like, we don't necessarily love the guy, but dang, the value of some of these receivers is.
You just got to take a shot on some of these guys.
You can, some of these picks might get you some of these vets though. For people start figuring out how deep this draft class is, because I think when they start realizing how deep it is, then you can start really getting into buying some of these players. But
you can go off into the deep end with some of these receivers. I mean, you can. So by preference, you can go from a player that some of the experts like as their wide receiver 20. You can like him as their wide receiver 10.
Yeah,
I mean
that's true.
Like you like Malik Washington.
I do like Malik Washington.
I like Roman Wilson.
Yeah,
like those guys could go.
Yeah,
at the 201, they could also go at the 301.
Yeah,
so it's really going to depend.
It is crazy.
I think it's going to be a very, very wide receiver heavy draft with a couple of running backs sprinkled in based on landing spot. That's what I'm thinking.
And then quarterbacks with draft capital will definitely make the draft even more interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, just thanks for listening to the podcast. 5-star review. If you want to hop in a league, we're going to do another league probably after the draft. Get another league going. If you want to hop in, let us know. But with that said, thanks for listening to the podcast. But we out.
Peace.